Couple minutes early. Hope that's okay. You guys would go ahead and start asking your questions. Start typing those out. And we'll get started. What's up, Harrison? How you doing? Emily, 499 bucks, daughter. Yes, Ralph Lawson. Check out my first impressions video. I will be comparing it with the Glock 43 and the Shield. I'm actually shooting that video today, so look for that really soon. Have you removed the fire control unit from the grip module yet? No, I haven't. Sig actually says that it's not modular, even though it does come out of the frame. I don't know why they say that. I'm kind of concerned if I take it out, am I going to have issues, warranty issues? You know, I don't know. So recoil is excellent. I think it shoots better than the Shield and the 43 and the XDS and the PPS, even though the PPS is heavier. I would compare the PPS and the 365 the closest in recoil management for me personally. And that's going to depend on hand size, technique, grip strength, you know, your weight, how well you base behind the gun, and all that's going to play a role. So I'm getting questions on my computer here too, so I'm going to be looking back and forth. No, the shop I purchased from only got 2 in. I was the first person in the state of Indiana outside of a gun store to own one, so that was kind of cool. The second one was spoken for. I tried to buy it and resell it. So, yeah, the 43 and 365 are virtually the same weight. Puny difference. This gun to conceal is so easy. I just saw that question. It's amazing, and I'm not carrying it quite yet. I want to put more rounds through it today. I've got 250 through it now in the first couple days, so I'm going to I'm going to put another probably 100, 150 through it today. And you guys know from my past videos, I like to run these things, try to get 400 or 500 rounds through them as quick as I can. Because if you're going to have a failure, it typically is early, because there's a mechanical issue, a mechanical failure early on. Machines usually break down, you know, fairly soon. So, dealer sold his left kidney. A lot of guys in Indiana are keeping theirs. They've only gotten 2 also, and they're not even selling them. They're keeping them. So, some hot ammo. I've run my Federal HSTs, hollow points. I've got some video of that, so I'll post that in a regular review coming up. So, it's pretty hot. 124 HST is hotter than 115 target ammo. South Bend, well, hi Ron, how you doing? The LC9S, yeah, I think it is pretty close in size. I thought I had the info pulled up. It looks like it's pretty close to the LC9S. Thank you, Dave. Is it better than the 43? In my opinion, yes, even though the 43 is a great gun. The 43, the Shield, PPS, even the XDS, I used to own one of those. There's nothing wrong with it. It was a great shooting little gun. The innovation of this, like I said in my first impressions video, the innovation to pack 10+1 into this little gun. And when you guys see this compared to the 43 and the Shield, you are going to find out how little this thing is. It is an engineering marvel. And I know some of you guys freak out, so I'm going to show you. Mags are empty, gun is empty. It's just tiny. It's unreal how small this gun is. I mean, it's very small. And I'm going to also compare with the LCP2, just to show you what a really small micro gun looks like compared to it. So, anything you guys want to see in the video, post those up. The reason I'm doing this really quick too, the live video, is these are the questions and comments I've had on what people want to see in a full review. And I thought, instead of trying to answer every single question, I'm just going to go ahead and do something live, answer your questions best I can, and then I'll also put as much info in the review as I can. The problem with the review is you can't make it 25 minutes, nobody will watch it. So, Ron, yes, it'll be available later, yes. The Shield 45, I've heard good things about them. 2 buddies of mine have them. Size compared to the Shield 45, I'll be comparing it to the Shield 9, so you guys will see that. I did not get the Sig holster. It was offered to me right there at the dealer. He said, I'm not trying to upsell you, but we have them. Basically, what I've got is this old stealth gear, and this is for an XDS, and this thing fits in it like it's made for it. It's just amazing, and I like the stealth gear comfort. It covers the trigger guard perfectly. I mean, it just looks like it's made for it, guys. It's crazy how good it is. So when I'm ready to carry after another probably 100 rounds, 150, the stealth gear is going to be what I start first. But check out Harry's holsters, guys. Harrison is making these things next week, so I'll have a Harry's holster for it. Recoil compared to the Shield 43, it's better, I think. I just think it's better. Yeah, that's not funny. Some people. Trolls, they're out there. Let's see what else. If I have anything else coming in here. Close up of the trigger pull, absolutely. I'm going to do close up of the trigger pull. Yeah, no problem, Harrison. Check out Harry's holsters, guys. He makes great ones. How aggressive is a grip texturing? It's awesome. And guys, these are coming up at different speeds, so I'm going to look at the computer and here. But the grip texture, I actually, from the pictures, thought it was going to be really rough. It's not. I think it's perfect. And I was concerned with rubbing skin, grabbing shirts. It's perfect. And in a little gun like that, I like it. A lot of people might think it's not aggressive enough. Other people with sissy hands might think it's too aggressive. So it's going to be dependent on the person. But I like it a lot. One view from the palm side, yes. Refreshments can be provided while we wait. Look for the review video. Good for a first concealment gun? Absolutely. If it's reliable, guys. And like I said, I still have to put more rounds through this thing, but it's my favorite carry gun if it's reliable that I've ever had. It's so small, and you've got 11 rounds. I'm getting ready to buy. I want to buy the 12-round mag extension. That was a question also. It's tiny even with the 12-rounder in it. You can't find them right now, though. Everybody's sold out of them. So you have 13 rounds in this little thing, and it's not very big. So it's awesome. Compared to the G43 or 938, I don't have a Sig 938. Yeah, don't feed the trolls, just ignore them. I agree. These night sights are great. I've had Sig Light night sights before, and they're big, they're bright. To my eye, the front tritium at night is brighter, bigger than the rear. So it just, the night sights are great on it, and they're low profile. Take a look. And what they did really nicely, guys, is they made this pretty snag proof. If you even look at the takedown lever, and yes, I'll show the takedown as well. But if you check out the takedown lever, it's angled. Everything is smooth and soft and snag free. I mean, they thought of everything with this gun. You can see the other side's nice and smooth, nothing to catch, nothing to grab. Another question, is the magazine release reversible? Yes, it is. I'll show that in the review also. Show the fire control unit. I'm probably not going to take it out right now. Sig recommends you don't. It's different than the 320. And that's the thing also is I had a question as to why in my first impressions video somebody thought I sounded arrogant when I said I would block them. If they brought up the P320 issues and you talked about drop testing this and don't throw it down, it'll fire. I don't want to carry 320 issues into the 360 world. This is a different gun. This is not the 320. So I might do it later, pull the fire control unit out. Right now, I'm just not sure. The MSRP for the mags, they're like 50, 55 bucks, I think, but I saw them on, I think it was, Surplus. I'm trying to think, sorry. Top Gun Surplus, Top Gun Supply. They were like 44. Not so bad. And how many mags do you need? Some people go crazy with those. There you go, pre-orders at 40 bucks. Nice. There you go. Good point right there that they learned the hard way, Sig did. And second. Guys, I cannot get rid of that troll here. It's not showing up on my computer, and yeah. Yes, it'll be compared to the 43, and I'll have the 19 there also, just to show the thickness. People tend to think this gun is the same thickness as the Glock 26, or that it compares to the 26. The only way it compares to the 26 is in round count. That's it. This thing is nowhere near the thickness of the 26. Check my first impression video out, and I put calipers on it, and you'll see that. So there you go. Thank you, Gil. The price of mags never exceeds the value of your life. Totally agree. Totally agree. Oh man, guys, I cannot get rid of that troll. I apologize. It's not showing up everywhere. Just ignore him. 50 degrees, Massachusetts. Nice. It was 53 here yesterday and sunny. It was beautiful. Felt recoil versus a 43 inch shield. For all the single stacks, I think it's better. I just do. It disassembles. I'll go ahead and show you that, guys, really quick. It disassembles just like the 320. Drop the mag first. Lock it back. Take down lever down. And then release it. So it's just like the 320 in that respect. Goes back the same way. Lock it. Up. And there you go. That's the only detail I'm going to show you because you have to watch a review coming up. The finish on the 320, it's a nitron coating. Yeah, it's the same thing. So you can see it's kind of a matte finish. Holster, I'll have one coming from Harry's Holsters next week. But I'm using my stealth gear right now. So some of you guys are late. I'm using a stealth gear right now that's made for an XDS. And it works perfectly. Which, by the way, if you notice, I put a concealment wing on there myself. I told you guys before I like to tinker. I wasn't lying, so it works great. Being too short to be safe, no problem. Guys, when I shoot it, my hand's a good ½ inch from the end. No problem there. I'm not going to shoot myself. Yes, Harry's going to make holsters. I should have one next week. He has his coming Monday, his 365. He's jealous because I got one first. Good questions. Please keep them coming. They are not coming up on my laptop. The 320 M17, no, it doesn't interest me. I've got a Glock 19 as far as my larger gun. Ron, I'm in Warsaw, so I'm only 50 minutes from you. Yeah, I used to have the 320 compact. I've owned 2 of them. Great guns. I like them. The trigger is awesome. It's absolutely awesome. It's so good. I was just playing around with the 43 and the Shield. No comparison. It's nice. The mags load easily. That's in a review also. That's something I wrote down. Shocked me. I thought for the 10th round I'd have to cram it in. Goes in just as easily as the 9th. I'm telling you guys, the engineering Sig put into this is unreal. Nice, Ron. Nice. Small world. I'm out by the airport, Ron. Now I just told everybody where I live. That's right, we're armed. Yeah, trying to find one. Man, the pre-orders are sold out everywhere. Magazines are sold out everywhere. And Sportsman Outdoor Superstore had pre-orders for $529. Now they're like $549. And I think that price is going to go up as the demand comes up. It's, yeah. Yes, 100% reliability with the 10+1. No problem. Biggest complaint about the gun. That's a good point. Good question. My hands are pretty calloused. So I'm generally not too concerned with how a gun, if it stings the hands or hurts the hands, and this one doesn't. What it is in the extended magazine only, it was, until I touched it up, really sharp right there. So where that hits in the hand, after a while, you can feel it a little bit. It's not like a game changer, like I got to leave the range, it's killing my hand, but you can feel it in the palm a little bit. So take a little bit of sandpaper, knock that off, and then some of the white Scotch-Brite. Polish it up. You can't even tell, but it rounded that off nicely. So right now, that's it. I mean, honestly, that's the only complaint I've got on the gun, was that, and it's fixed. The slide lock, slide release works really nice. It was a little stiff when I first bought it, but the shield never broke in for me. I got you. Makes sense on the extended mags. But I'll tell you what, this one does feel really nice. So, full finger grip. You can get 2.5 fingers. I can get 2.5 on the flush fit. So there you go, 2.5, which feels really nice, and it shoots nice. I'll show you guys a target in my review coming up also of my next 200 rounds I put through the gun, and I tighten the groups up a lot better from the first 100. There is the extension. Perfect. Beautiful thing. Keep them coming. Good questions, good comments. Ron, I agree. Usually when I carry, it's the flush fit, but this thing feels so good, and the gun's so small that it doesn't conceal any worse. And sometimes you get a little difference in concealability, you know, with a flush fit to an extended. There's no difference in here, so I'll probably carry with this. Heck, if the 12 rounder fits just as well, I'll probably carry with the 12. What watch? It is a, I have to look, honestly, it's a G-Shock, Casio G-Shock. I think like 50 bucks at Kohl's or something like that on sales, like $80, I think. But no, these are actually smaller, the Sig sights. They have to be to fit on a little tiny, it's under an inch, 0.899 or something like that width. So they're not very wide and they're not very tall. They are Sig light though, and they're bright. They're really nice. So they're good watches. There you go. Carry 10 in a gun and 12 extra. Nothing wrong with that. The stock sights, any good? Pitch black? Yes. They're really bright. I've had Sig light sights before and they're nice. Same size as a P290. You know, the footprint is probably pretty close. I don't have the 290 specs up here, but I think from what I've read, it's pretty close to the 290, but definitely slimmer. And the slimness matters when you're talking concealability. You think about, you know, putting that thing inside of the holster and then carrying IWB, it matters. And I mean, sure, we can carry bigger guns, no problem, but I wear XL to XX. My fingers aren't very long, but I've got big hands, big palms, so. Slide release work? Yes, it does. And that's what I said in my first impressions video. When I first started playing with it, it was a little bit tight. But then after a while, it's loosened right up, so it actually works nicely. Slide stop, slide release, both. That's what I use it for. The width of the front sight, no I haven't. That I haven't done. I'm guessing the front sight width is going to be the same, pretty standard. Any troubleshooting? No, I've shot Federal aluminum ball ammo. I have shot Hellfire 115 grain. I've shot Federal brass 115 grain, and I've shot my Federal HST 124 grain ammo. And I've got that on video, so I'll throw that in my full review. How tall am I? I'm 6'3", a little over 6'3". You know what, Harry, that's a good question. There's no excuse. If they can fit 10 rounds in here, Glock can fit 20 in the 15-round mag. That's all there is to it. And this thing it's tiny, guys. Now, I measured this against the 43 mag, and it is slightly wider. I'll include that also in the comparison coming up. The controls, the mag release is reversible. Yeah, there you go. The controls, the magazine release is reversible, but there's no slide lock, slide release on the other side. Harry will have holsters, I believe, the week after next. He's commenting here. Harry, you can comment that. Is it the week after next you'll have them available? That's very true. If they would just go to metal magazines instead of the polymer. $880. What's $880, Dave? I paid $499 for mine. Kentucky Gun Company had it for $499. Definitely, Ron, check him out. Harry is a good guy, and makes some very good holsters. I wish I had this holster right here for my G19. It's sweet. A lot of options. Gun broker selling for $800. I wouldn't doubt it. I wouldn't doubt it. Guys, I was going to buy the extra one if my gun store, this is a small town gun store that I went to about 30 miles away. They had 30 people on a waiting list, 29 after me. I was number one. Number two had paid for his and like me, and I was hoping that I would pick that one up, and I was going to flip it on Arms List for a nice profit. G42, I'm going to compare it to the 43. No problem, Ron. Thank you for stopping in. I can't figure it out, Ralph. Sorry. It's not coming up right. It's locked up on my computer. I would get rid of the guy. Just ignore him. Just a bored troll with mental issues, most likely. Needs some help. Yeah, I'd like to, guys. I can't figure it out. Mud test, water test, sand test, no, absolutely not. I don't do torture tests on my gun. Check out my video on BP9 torture tests. I'm not a fan of torture tests. They serve a purpose for military and police, but not for civilians. I think they're entertainment only. My opinion. But thanks for the question. Appreciate it. Keep them coming. We have to have more questions. I'm trying to think of anything. Oh yeah, really quick. I'm going to address that. No, it'll be my main carry. Absolutely. Main carry. I mean, with a gun this small that gives me 11 rounds, if it's reliable, another 100, 200 rounds, yeah, it's going to be my main carry. Some of these are flying through. Magazines made in Italy, that I don't know. For ankle carry, absolutely. Yeah, this would fit in an ankle holster. Sure. Yes, figure will fit in the trigger guard with the gloves on. It's not really big though. It's smaller, but yeah, it'll fit in every gloves. What did you carry before? The P365? Oh geez, everything. BP9, subcompact, Glock 19, Glock 43, Shield, you name it. I've carried all of them. I don't have the 12 rounder yet. You can't find them right now on the internet. They're sold out. They are sold out. Comparing the length of the two mags, sure. Doesn't add, I'll get as close as I can. Doesn't add much, just a little bit. Try to get it. Just a little bit, not much. Thanks for that. I'll do that. I'll click on a comment. My hand will probably be in front of the camera here, but sorry guys. Yes, I'm going to compare. I've got a 43 and a Shield in the house right now. I'm shooting that video today, the comparison. The trigger is definitely better than a 320. I cannot find, sorry guys. It will not let me block this guy. Sorry, just ignore him everybody, just ignore him. Yes, my hands are above average size. I get a great grip. It's shootable. Yeah, I mean, what I like about small guns, and I've said this before, is instead of a giant slide sticking out, it sits right in your hand. So I realize a small gun, you know, according to physics, can have more recoil, but it also has a smaller slide, or a smaller overall package, which sits in the hands more instead of way out in front, you know, for muzzle flip. So, yeah. Sorry guys, let me check this out. Uh, 320X carry, yeah, looks like a good gun. You have to figure that out for yourself. If a gun is too small, I'm gonna have to just move closer guys and work here. Shooting a small gun with a short sight radius. It's great. I shot back at 15, 20 yards. So my video coming up, you're going to see the groups that I held all the way back to 20 yards and up to 5, working drills, one hand and everything else. And the groups tightened up nicely compared to my first 100. So yes, I can. I just showed that a second ago, but I'll do it again. There you go. Nice full grip. Yep. Yes. I think when it proves reliable, I don't think there'll be a problem, but yes, it's my main carry gun, no doubt. The 19 will be carry too, but why not? What don't I like? I touched on it a little bit ago. It had a sharp corner right here on the back of the extended mag. The flush fit doesn't have it. It doesn't have it, so it was a little more rounded off. It wasn't a problem, but the extended mag, I had to touch this corner back here. It would poke into the hand a little bit. It probably would blow off his thumb. He's got a huge hand, so I sent him a picture yesterday. I texted it to him and showed him where mine was, ½ inch from the end. Yeah, he probably would wrap around the end. Got some big mitts. The trigger to the VP9, ooh, the VP9, as much as I love it, love the brake, it has a little bit of a two-stage feel. This thing is clean. And I'll go ahead and show you guys the trigger. I mean, I'm going to show it in the review also, but it's just, the take-up is so puny. That's it. And then it's so clean. And show you the reset. It's just perfect. The trigger's absolutely amazing, especially when you talk about a gun that size. It's awesome. Best I've felt. It is nice. It's impressive. But again, Sig's engineers, whoever came up with this guy, they deserve a raise, a promotion, and a huge bonus. Trigger weight, I would guess it's 5.5-ish. It's hard to tell. Even with the Sig P 320, I thought it felt lighter than 6 pounds, but it was like 6.5. So that's another question that was asked. What kind of safeties does it have? It is drop safe. It's been tested thoroughly. It doesn't have the dingus on a trigger, which is nice for a small gun. Yep, some people say that. The shield feels a little better than the 43 in recoil. Thank you very much. It was the only way to answer these questions. I've got, I don't know how many comments it was below the first impressions video, 200 and something. Yeah, 200 and some. 255 questions, I think, comments, and a lot of them are redundant. They're the same thing, so. Here's your trigger. Short, it's tactile, it's audible. It's a good one. Oh, Harry, it's more than that. It's like 300 subs in the last couple days. It's crazy. .365, saw it, yeah. Shield's a great gun too. I mean, in the 2.0, people tend to really like it. I think this one is going to just be, I mean, they use the word game changer and everything else. When I felt the trigger in the gun store and the night sights, and just when I saw how small this thing was, and my mind's going, they've got 10 rounds in that little mag, 10 rounds in that thing. I'm thinking the competition's in trouble. And I still think they are. I mean, I paid $499. Think about it, $499 bucks. $100, $110 sights. The trigger is amazing. I've got 10+1. I mean, it's a very fair price, guys. Very fair. Yeah, it could be February, especially now. There are waiting lists at a lot of gun stores. I just happened to run across this with this gun store about 30 miles away that on a Facebook page, they said they're taking pre-orders for 365. I called right away. I was the first on the list. So, no, the grip's small. It's smaller than the shield and the 43. I'm not helping. I'm hoping Sig sends me a commission. I'm hoping. I hope this thing's reliable. Because if it's not, I'm going to look stupid. But I've already said that as a caveat. I've already said that. So we have to wait and see if it's reliable. The HK VP9 Subcompact is an awesome little gun. Great gun. I think the 365 is what they call a game changer. Hang on a second, I got to scroll down a little bit. The 365 will make an impact on a concealed carry market. Big impact. Only for you to create demand, that's exactly what they're doing. Exactly what they're doing. And their marketing was brilliant. 2 weeks ago, they started this marketing campaign and led up to SHOT Show. So everybody was flocking. Look at YouTube. Type in Sig P 365 or look at your feed from SHOT Show videos. They're all on the 365. So there's no doubt. They were smart. Their marketing people and their engineers deserve a bonus and a raise, no doubt. For me to get a support hand grip, no. I mean, it's what I was saying earlier. I love it. It just sits in my hand. It doesn't sit out in front. It's in there. And so recoil mitigation is nice. Check out my recoil video. 10 rounds from 10 yards, which somebody said that looked like 10 feet. Do a little math and look at the target I'm shooting at. The top of those target stands are my height. They're 6'3". I did that for a reason. So if you laid that target down, you can see clearly it's a little further than 10 feet. It was a full 10 yards. How many rounds in a VP9 SK mag? I don't know. If you compare it to this little thing, it seems like they should fit 15 or 16, but closer to the 938. The pictures I've seen of the 938, it looks like a little gun. It's smaller than the 43. It's a little bit wider, a little bit thicker here, but overall the dimensions are smaller and the weight's about the same. I don't mind being a beta tester. I bought so many guns without even shooting them first, and I recommend you don't do that, but I've had no problem getting rid of them. So, wow, guys, I'm sorry. I got to back up and get these questions here. How does the grip length with the 10 round extended compare to a shield with the 8 round? I'll show that in a review. Replace your P30 SK. P30 SK is a great gun. Would I advise selling a 43 and buying one of these? Oh, geez, that's my daughter. Yes, tell Mike to sell your 43 or keep your 43 and buy one of these too. That's funny. That's my daughter, everybody. Who happens to be, she's going to be a special needs teacher, so. She's killing it in school. I'm bragging on her now. As a college athlete, Dean's List. She gets her brains from her mother, probably. The chassis like a 320. No, there's no different size grip modules. There's no need. It's tiny. That's why they built this, was to build a tiny gun for carry. So a bigger one or a smaller one would wreck their capacity, which would go against the engineering side of this thing. So. I agree, Harry. The only interesting handgun. I just told my wife a few weeks ago, I'm not even interested in any guns right now. I should be set. Then I saw the advertisement for this, and I said, well, scratch that. I've heard that there's going to be a suppressor. Yes, I've heard that for this. I don't know why. Sometimes the companies do crazy things. This is a concealed carry gun. I mean, I guess you could use it for home defense with a light, but I don't know. It's to put in a holster and carry inside a waistband or outside, you know, for civilian concealed carry. I assume the same polymer. Paul, I have seen those for like 45 bucks. It was on Top Gun Supply. They're out of them, but keep your eyes open for that. The laser light attachment, no. Again, I like the tiny gun to be tiny. I don't want to pack anything else on a tiny carry gun to make it bigger. Kind of defeats the purpose, in my opinion. Some people like them. I'm not a fan. That's why we have choices, right? 250 rounds in 2 days, and I'm going to put another 100 through it today. So 250 rounds, all reliable, no problems. Shibwork South Narc train. I'm not sure if that question's for me. Sorry guys, I'm trying to. Keep them coming. It's everywhere. While we have a little bit of a lull here, I'm going to maybe scroll through and answer a few questions. Shot show the Sig light lasers don't add any bulk. Well, I mean, bulk-wise width, no, but they add size. They have to, because there's mass out here. So, yeah, they're small, but I don't want anything on my gun. Yes, the VP9s, to me, I had thousands of rounds through mine and the SK. I've got a video where, against my own judgment, I did a torture test, threw it in muddy water. They both worked fine. Yes, I shot Federal HST 124 grain. They shot perfect. A little bit of recoil difference in 115 grain ball, but that's expected. Didn't affect my groups. I'll show you that in the video coming up. A TLR6 with 300 lumens would be cool. And that's not a knock, guys, if you like lights on your guns. I just don't want anything on it. I just want this right here. The grip texture is awesome. It's perfect. It's not too rough. Definitely not smooth. I think they did a perfect job on it. Perfect. And it wasn't really a burr, it was just a sharp edge. It's just a manufactured edge, and now it's rounded off, but it was just sharp right here. So, I don't have a Glock 26, no. The only thing it has in common is capacity. The 26 compared to this is a chunk. Great gun, but it's chunky. This is tiny. I'll show you the breakdown, the recoil spring. I'll show you all of that inside when I do the full review coming up. But the 26 width, I'll show you guys my 19 comparison. I'll measure the 19 compared width-wise. And it is a dual recoil spring, I will tell you that. Biker race dude. But I'll break down, I'll show you the internals and the full review. I just want to put more rounds through it before I do an actual review. So, you know, the trigger guard on this, check this out though, Harrison, they did a nice job. It's got, you know, an undercut, and even here it's angled. They just did a really nice job of smoothing that thing out. And overall, it's great. Low profile. I've said it before, they nailed it with this gun. They absolutely did, so. I'll probably keep this going for another 20 minutes. That'll give us an hour. Obsolete Shield will also always have a place in the market because of the price point they're at. There are people that, you know, especially when this thing starts hitting, I think the Shield prices might go down a little more, but you can get Shields on sale and after rebates for like $225 sometimes, you know, $250. So I think they'll always have a place in the market. And the Shield's a good gun. The Shield I'm going to do in a video is my son's. He carries one. I had to borrow it from him to do the video. I heard the M&P compacts, they really hammered that grip texture. Pretty sharp on the skin and tear up shirts, but this is perfect. And now the 320 I thought was too rough, you know, for the skin. This is perfect. I've been carrying this around the house and at the range with no t-shirt, and it hasn't been irritating my skin whatsoever. So no new comments right now. Somebody did ask how I got the gun so quick. They got laughed at by their gun store. They don't know when they'll be arriving. It's amazing the comments. You know when people don't watch your videos. You do a first impressions video and you specifically say, I'm going to compare a Shield and a Glock 43. And then you get comments that say you need to do a comparison video with a Glock 43 and a Shield. Paul, you'll love it. If you like small guns, some people don't like them. And they just don't like small guns. And that's cool. I get it. I get it. I've never had Glock finger. I've never had a sore finger from shooting any gun. So the Glock finger thing, to me, is a myth. I know some people get it. I know Hickok 45 has put a Band-Aid on his finger, but big sissy. I'm kidding. No problems though. 250 rounds in 2 days, fine. Even the magazine being sharp through the first 100 was fine. It's not like it was left my hand bleeding or anything, but I left the range going, what is that? I'm thinking, is this the first gun to make my hand sore? And I put it in, in my hand with it, and then I realized what it was, and then so I just took it and filed that off a little bit. Keep them coming. Somebody actually appreciated when I talked about the innovation in manufacturing and R&D. I talked about that in the first impressions video. I'm glad they appreciate that. Being around engineering for a long time, I do, and they nailed it with this thing. So, what else do we have here? The price will save the shield. Exactly, Harrison. That's exactly. It's not going anywhere. It's not going anywhere. You can get a quality gun for $300. Carry 7 rounds. But I understand costs. Sometimes it is more rounded. Yeah. Yep. It's got a good look too. They just thought of everything to make it streamlined, easy to holster, easy to pull. I showed it earlier how the takedown lever, everything is angled, smoothed off. There's nothing sharp. Everything's just smooth. They did a great job. Got about 20 more minutes. I appreciate you guys being here too. Thank you very much. This was just a great way to try to answer all these without typing. I think I replied to 150 or something. And I thought, you know what? I've never done a live video. This is my first one, so I've actually thought. Let me know what you guys think. I thought about doing a live review and then showing you what you want to see per request. So if somebody wants to see the trigger, I'll do the trigger. The problem with that is somebody's going to come late, and I'm going to show the trigger 15 times, so maybe I won't do that. Yeah, HK P30 price drops. You could see some prices drop if this thing does as well as I think it's going to. 5 years from now, the 320 and 365. The 320, I thought was a great gun. I know people smashed it because of the trigger issues, which is why I didn't want anybody talking in the 320 video or 365 videos about the 320 trigger issues, because this is not a 320. It's a completely different gun. So I think in 5 years, everybody's going to be still be playing catch up to 365. Maybe they'll develop something by then, but it depends on how Sig did their patent, which I think patents run out in 10 years. Somebody might correct me. So they may own the high-capacity micro-compact market for a long time. That's why I'm saying give their guys a bonus. Give their engineers a bonus. Dave, I might. Would you guys like to see live chats? 577 is a good price for a P30. They're great guns. Anybody want to see more live chats? With me swigging coffee. If you do, let me know. Okay, Taylor, I'm going to have to get one soon. You got to find it first. But if you do, you'll like it if you like small guns. Right now I'm using a Stealth Gear. It's actually made for the XDS. I'll go ahead and show you guys again. It's made for the XDS, but it fits like it's made for it. Covers the trigger guard perfectly. It works. Holds it in there beautifully. So after another 100 rounds, I'll feel good about carrying it. That'll be 350 through it. If it's good through 350 rounds, it's going to be good through 3,000. Unless they just have some junky crap part that's going to break like a Taurus that my daughter owned broke. Bashing Taurus now. People have asked also, what about the PT111 G2? It's not in the same class. I own the PT111 G2 and a PT140. They're fine budget guns, but they're not even in the same class as this. ETA on the comparison review, I'm actually shooting it today. I'm going to video that today. So it's been a little rainy this morning, plus I had to work for a few hours this morning, about 5 hours. And then it's supposed to clear out though and be nice. About 50 degrees today, thank God. The sight cut, Harrison, that is a good question. Whatever Sig normally, I don't know if it's proprietary. That's a good question. Good question. I know the aftermarket. It's going to be loaded. Quick on this gun. I have a feeling quick. You're going to have aftermarket sights and holsters, and it's going to blow it out with this thing. I have a feeling. You'll probably have cheaper. What are the cheap mags out there? Help me out. That you can buy. Pro mags. I'm sure they'll throw them out there too, which are fine for range. If you don't mind jams every 5 rounds. Muddy River Tactical. I haven't tried that. I've heard good things about them though. Slick Shooter, I have carried it around. I'm not carrying it yet. I want to put another 100 rounds through it. That'll give me 350. After 300 rounds, to me, if a gun is proven reliable, even the way it feels in the hands and when you shoot it, if there's any hang-ups, you're gonna if you shoot enough, you're gonna feel it. You're gonna know if there's problems. So it carries just like the 43 to me. Shield's a little bigger, but carries like the 43, which means it's undetectable. This thing will actually make my LCP2 obsolete as far as inside the waistband holster. I'll carry the LCP2 maybe in sweatpants or something in a pocket holster, but this thing hides just as well, and it gives me 11 rounds of 9mm versus 6 rounds of 380, so that's kind of a no-brainer. So XDS, hey, people now Springfield, people hate them after what happened, you know, recently, but the XDS I own was great, and I have a problem with it. I don't know if Flat Dark Earth is in the works, but that'd be pretty sweet. I'd like to pick one up. And who knows? Like I said, Sig said that these are not modular per se, but I guess they are. I just haven't taken it apart yet. I'm kind of concerned to do that. If they say it's not modular, I think there's a reason for it. Since they advertised the 320 as being modular, that was a big selling point. Kind of concerned if they say it's not modular and I take it apart and I jack something up, I got to send it in and look like a fool, and it probably wouldn't be covered under warranty. So I'm shooting the review vid. It'll be coming soon. What I want to do is I want to put another 100 rounds through, 150 today. That'll put me at 350 to 400. Then I want to carry it for a while. Then the review will be out. Since it's a carry gun, I want to make sure I review it as a carry gun. No play in the rattles, that's a good question. I mean, this thing is rock solid. Sometimes you shake a gun and you hear little jingles and everything else. Even with the mags, nothing. Rock solid. The quality on this thing is second to none. So the review vid, Joshua Mason, look for it over the next week. I'll start carrying it after today, if the next 100, 150 rounds go well. Slightly surprised with the same 320 trigger design. It's not. It's really not. The trigger is the same. The actual trigger, but the internals are different. It's a whole different design. And that's from Phil Strader at Sig. Whole different design. So I see what you mean though. It looks like a 320 trigger, but this thing's better. Better than a 320 trigger. Ripcord Jr., yeah, the finish on the 320s, they seem to scratch easily, which for me, I didn't care. Some people do. Slide jumped. Nope. This thing's been great. It's been awesome. You want to see a live review? I might do that. I don't know if has anybody done that? Have you ever seen a live review on a gun? Maybe I'll do it. Like I said, can you mention again how you receive one so quick? It's classified. I just happened to come across it. I'd never even heard of it. Never even heard of the gun. And on my Facebook, Bass and Bucks in Wabash, Indiana, I follow them. They're close to me. And it popped up, pre-orders for 365. I'm like, what's a 365? So I just started investigating, went to Sig's website, started trying to research, and watched the Sig promo video and thought, sold. I'll be a beta tester. I mean, like I said, the innovation, the 11 rounds in that little gun, I jumped on it quick. I called them. They were only getting 2 in, and I got the first one. I can't do much with the audio, sorry. Harrison is true, yep. The grip modules, they sold that as big, which it's cool. Yeah, I mean, I guess for the Army application to be able to go from, you know, one size to the next, I think it makes sense. But for civilians, you don't really need to change a grip module. Your hand size isn't going to change that much. Shouldn't anyway. The mag release, that's a good question. I love it, and I'll tell you why. For a tiny little small gun, I don't want the mag release crazy responsive where when I push it, the mag just flies out. This one you have to intentionally push it. You don't have to shove on hard, but so it's responsive, but it doesn't shoot out like fast. So it works. It works just like I think a small gun should. So you're not going to intentionally hit it and drop the mag. That's a good question. Sean, hi. I don't know you, but I guess I'm your buddy. How you doing? Mag release, as far as modifying your grip, just typical, you know, here. I always on compacts anyway, get the pinky out of the way, otherwise the mag won't drop. So that's it. Not a real big modification. It's a possibility with the Shield mag, possible. I think this is going to drive innovation with other companies. They'll figure it out. It almost makes me, though, I don't know, Glock isn't a stupid company. Sig, HK, all these major companies have got some pretty smart people. They had to have known, these other companies, they could fit more rounds in that mag. I mean, does anybody disagree? How do you not know that you can fit more? It's not like just this revelation with Sig, like, I bet I can fit 10 rounds in a little mag. You know, I don't know. But they designed a gun around the mag, which most companies do anyway. You have to start there. It's got to be reliable. If it's not, the gun's junk. What else do we have? Thanks for doing this. Subscribed. Need to run. Look forward to videos. Thank you, Paul. Appreciate it. Yes, I did clean it before testing. I clean all my guns before I shoot them. I bring them home because they usually have got a really thick, it's either packing grease or a really thick oil. So yeah, I cleaned it. Cleaned it and lubed it. Yeah, the 26 great is a great gun, the G26. It can feel kind of like a brick, yes, you know, especially with hand size. It just depends on the person. And the beautiful thing is, this little guy is same capacity as a 26, and that's not knocking a 26. But it's got 10+1, and it's easy to carry. Looking forward to concealed carrying it. Been carrying it around the house a little bit and just kind of getting the feel, but it's got to make sure it's reliable. Give me another 100 rounds, and I'm gonna carry it. Extra mags are in the 50s, retail like 55 bucks or 59. I've seen them in the 40s though. Thank you, Robert. Appreciate it. Robert Rice. If you haven't subscribed, please do. Subscribe to my channel. It'll be awesome. More live chats, Poe. Thank you, Dave. Good on the audio. Good. It should be okay. This is the same setup I use for my videos, so should be. HK announced price drops on a P30s. Huh. Awesome. I wondered how much people are getting away from a lot of the double action, single action. So I wondered how much when the VP9s came out over 2, 3, 4 years, how much that would affect. Maybe it's starting to affect them to where they're going to drop the prices. So thanks for that clarification. People love their striker fired guns. Yeah, it fits the XDS holster. Honestly, you can fit a lot of guns in different holsters. It fits in it like it's made for it. The lines, everything just fits perfect. So very cool. Has your newfound fame changed your life? Oh, definitely not fame. I'm just a normal guy, simple guy. Enjoy doing this though. It's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun. We're in Wisconsin. Are you? I'm not. I'm in Indiana. I wouldn't live north. I'm as far north as I would. I wouldn't move a mile north of where I'm at. I don't mind regular winters, but the winter we've had this year has been brutal. People we treated on the 42. A lot of negatives on people he treated on the 42. I'm kind of confused, but no problem. Enjoy your coffee. I just finished mine. I wish I had more. Yeah, it's true. That's a great point. Aftermarket will be there because now I do like the straight 8 sights. I love Ameriglow IDOT Pros, but I'll tell you right now, the Sig lights, I like these. And what I like about them is they're really low profile. And I do like the Sig sight picture. It's point of aim, point of impact. It's not a 6 o'clock hold. Put it where you want the round to go and press the trigger. I like that about Sigs. Not many sight options on the P10C. Isn't that crazy? Wouldn't you think these companies would jump on this stuff early, that they would learn by now? At least Blackpoint Tactical, they do have holsters available for these. So Blackpoint got with Sig early and said, you know, I want to make you some holsters. But yeah, I can't figure out why sight companies wouldn't already be on that. You know, get the dimensions from Sig, and you know, even if you have to mock up a prototype, you can always tweak. But do I have any criticisms at all? The only thing I had mentioned earlier was this was sharp on the extended mag. The flush fit was fine. Poked into the hand a little bit. Wasn't brutal, but it did. So just took some white, a little sandpaper and some white Scotch-Brite and clean that up a little bit. Okay, Taylor, good point. Good point. Could be that it popped with problems. Might be. Never know. Fiber Ameriglow Trijicon HD guy. My concern with this is the Trijicon HDs typically they're about that tall, and they did such a fine job of making this streamline. I'm afraid even if I get the Ameriglows, the IDOTs, that they're going to be too tall. So I'm going to leave it stock. I'm not changing a thing on this gun. It's too good. But to each his own. You're always welcome to change it. So Security 9. It looks like a blown up LCP2. The Security 9. It looks nice. Reviews are pretty good on it. So that's cool. I'm behind a cheddar curtain. Nope. Wow. Guys, there's a lot of questions here. They're popping up like crazy now, so. Wow. It releases with a loaded mag just fine. See you, Harrison. Take care, bud. I haven't really worked it too much with a loaded mag. Not really a whole lot of reason to. Thanks for the Q&A. No problem. Yes, the magazines load perfect. I'll show that in my review. I was shocked. I'm thinking I'm going to have to cram this 10th round in. I just know it. It went in just as easily as the 9th. It's money. It's perfect. They did a great job. Live chats are cool. Get a chance to know you. Yeah, thank you. Somebody said they thought I was arrogant. I'm just a truth teller. I do these videos, and some people think, yeah, you sound cocky, and I'm not. I'm actually a pretty humble, simple guy. I don't know. I just don't BS. Do I shoot it better than the SK? At this point, I don't know. I've only put 250 rounds through it. I had 3,000 through the SK. I think with more practice, I will. I'll shoot it just as good. Okay, Taylor on the HK mag or the round count mag restriction could possibly be, because they've got their engineers obviously are good. German engineering's real, and so there's no reason they couldn't fit more rounds in their mag. Are we able to score one of the 12 rounders yet? No, can't find them right now. I should have bought one early. I just wasn't sure if I'd like the gun. And I didn't want to spend 45, 50 bucks on a mag if I didn't like it. Civil defense ammo. I did not answer the question. I didn't see it. I've never tried it. Yeah, the USP price. I'll tell you what, that's the only double action, single action gun that I want to own again. I sold all mine. I would like to own the HK45, the USP45. Just, it's a beast, it's a tank, and I think I want one of those someday. The XDE 45. 1776. How you doing, man? Sorry I'm a few minutes late here. I'm getting caught up. These are scrolling like crazy. You're liking the PPS with the red dot? PPS was a great gun. I just like this one better. True Glow, Sig lights, leave them on. P220s, yeah. So if you're familiar with the 220s, Foo-Fop, you'll like these. These are great. Super Mike, I will be doing that with the Shield 43. Check out my first impressions video. I talk about that in there, and watch the whole thing. I'll be shooting that video today. I'm trying to throw a bonus gun in there too that's in the same class. I can't get a hold of the guy though. I'm trying to borrow one. So, would you say you're the humblest P365 owner or or the humbler? I don't know. When I picked it up the other day, I was the only P365 owner in Indiana, so that was kind of cool. Thank you, Rev. Appreciate that. It's a little hard loaded, empty. They shoot out like 365. Okay, gotcha. I understand the question now. It was a little bit different. The 124 and the 115 was a little different on a recoil. Obviously, I mean, we're talking a duty load, you know, self-defense load that's designed to penetrate deep. 115, accuracy was fine, though. Precision was exactly the same. I think my group, you'll see on the video, I think I was 7 yards, 6-7 yards, and rapid fired 5 with the 115 grain, 5 of the 124, and I think my group was right there, and I was rapid fire. So with good fundamentals and grip, and I'm not a great shooter, but good fundamentals and grip, you can mitigate a lot of recoil. The Car CM9 I haven't, but it's a small gun, so this thing's a little bigger than the CM9, smaller than the 43. So, Elephant Boy, thank you very much. I appreciate that. Thanks for the subscription. Thank you. Videos are awesome. Thank you very much. Tumbling, really is. Appreciate you guys. So I think I've answered about all of the questions. That's great. That's a good story. I like it. For some reason, speaking of that with brothers and sisters, thank you, Edisto, I appreciate that. Thanks for stopping by. One of my sons called my daughter Pookie, and her name's Emily, out of nowhere, and so she's, 22 years old, and we still call her Pookie, so not always. She's married now. All right, guys, I've gone over the hour. I plan on doing, I was thinking 30 minutes, but I had so many questions there, and even lately some have popped up. The question I always get on the targets is that James Yeager? It looks just like Yeager. It's not. Pick those up from actiontargets.com. Thank you, Jim. I appreciate that. My first live chat, too. I've never done this, so. Travis, that's a good point. I hope I never need mine either. I hope it never comes out of the holster. But if it does, as long as it's reliable, I shoot it well, and I've got 11 rounds in that little gun, I feel good about my chances. A photographic backdrop. No, this is my son's old bedroom. I do my videos in my son's old bedroom. We've got a big house, had 4 kids. 3 are married, moved out now, so it's just me and my wife and my son, and I figured why not use one of the bedrooms for a kind of a studio, so to speak. It's nothing fancy, nothing fancy. It's just a painted gray wall. I have to be careful. Sometimes I'll wear gray against it, and that kind of just looks like a talking head. So, any more questions? I'll stay on another minute or 2 here, answer any new questions. If not, I got to get my, thank you, I do disregard the haters, absolutely. There's enough good people out there. The haters, they don't mean anything. And I'm not thin-skinned. If I ever reply to somebody, I'm going to defend myself or my position. I'm not going to be a know-it-all, but I'm going to defend my position. And it's good to challenge other people on theirs. Don't just spew what you've heard on the internet. I want to hear why you feel that way. Have you tested yourself? Have you talked to people in the know? So. Jerry Hill, thank you. Thank you. Yeah, it does. It kind of looks like a green screen, doesn't it? All right. No problem. Thank you. Glad I could share it. I'm in love with it. No, I did not. It was a Glock 35, not a 22. And I had opportunities with somebody asked about deer hunting with the Glock 35. Had opportunities. Unfortunately, the deer that were close enough were male. They were bucks, antlered. I was in antlerless only season, so I couldn't shoot. And one was an actual, it was a giant, big 8-point, 12 yards, and I couldn't take him because I'd already filled my tag. So I know some people out there who would have, though, and then just cheated the system, but I'll let him grow another year. I did harvest a doe, though, late in the season, but I did it with a gun. I did it with a long gun. Yes, I'll be out there for sure. It was fun with the pistol out there. It was fun. Thank you, Jim. I appreciate that. It's you guys, too, though. You guys taking your time out of a midday on a Saturday here to ask the questions. I just thought it'd be a good time to do this, so. Thank you, man. I appreciate that. What you see on camera is who I am. There's no show. There's no act. This is who I am. So, all right, guys, I'm going to wrap it up in 10 seconds. 9, 8. Thank you, Jason. Definitely honest. Hope I answered everything. I'll try to touch on a lot of this too in a review. There will be more shooting in a review also. Somebody wanted more shooting out there. So I will definitely show more shooting. Thank you, Mr. Low Bore Axis. Hey, your username reminds me. People also go on about the Sig High Bore Axis. No way. Look how that sits in the hand. Nice. Very nice. It's not a typical Sig High Bore Axis. So awesome. I was like a kid before Christmas waiting for mine to get in. I was pumped, excited. No problem, Ralph. Thank you for watching. Out the door, I paid, it was $4.99. Indiana, 7% sales tax. It was $5.33 out the door. I buy a lot of guns online, but at $4.99 plus sales tax instead of $5.29 plus transfer and shipping. Yeah, I was happy. $5.33 out the door. All right, I'll go 2 more minutes. $4.99 for law enforcement. That probably is an option for them. From what I understand, dealers are paying, I think it's like $4.38 for this gun. So there's not a lot of markup. There's really not. That's good to know. $5.29 free shipping. Nice. Kentucky Gun Company had them for $4.99. They usually ship free. I assume they are with this one too. So that's a great deal. On top of that, you pay your transfer fee, but still at $5.20 to $5.40 mark. Again, you don't have to spend $100 on night sights. And as good as a trigger is, 10 plus 1, I just think it's fair. I think it's fair. Anything else? True. $5.35, local gun store behind the cheddar curtain. It's true. The Glock 43, I think the retail on a Glock 43 was $5.49, I think, MSRP. I mean, street price is cheaper, but people went on about the MSRP of this, like $5.99 is too much. Well, that's why people sell them for $4.99 to $5.20. You can get them cheaper. So, thank you, Travis. I will. I'm getting ready to do my comparison video with the 43 and the Shield, so that'll be fun. I won't have any range footage with those. I'm just doing size comparison. Not even a feature comparison. It's just going to be size. But look for a review coming soon. It's going to be coming here in the next week. So, yeah, I will be shooting it today. All right, guys. Everybody, appreciate you watching. Thank you very much. Look for that full review coming soon. And great questions, great live chat. Maybe we'll do one of these more, down the road. We'll have to see. Width compared to the XDS, I'm hoping to get a hold of an XDS from my neighbor today. I'm hoping. He might have texted me back, but I'm using my phone to shoot this video, so I don't know. I've got it shut off so he can't bother me. So if I can get the XDS, it'll be the XDS Shield and 43 and the 365. If I can't get the XDS, it'll be the other three. So, all right, guys, that's an hour and 10 minutes, way longer than I planned, but hey, it's been great. It's been awesome. I got a video to shoot. See you guys later.